Well, hello. Welcome back. Today we're going to read the story Thomas Edison, Inventor. It's by David Adler. This is a biography, which means it's going to be written from one person about another person's life. And this one is going to be about Thomas Edison, his life, and how he became an inventor. We're also going to be talking about problems and solutions. And I think that works great with inventors because they see a problem and they come up with a solution. So we're going to keep reading and let's see what we can come up with. Chapter 1. Young Tom Edison asked lots of questions. When someone told him, "I don't know," Tom had one more question. He asked, "Why don't you know?" He did lots of experiments to find out. Tom watched a goose sit on some eggs. He saw the eggs hatched. He wanted to know what would happen if he sat on eggs. So Tom made a nest. Then he put goose and chicken eggs in the nest. Next, he sat on the eggs and found out. Splat! There's a problem and a solution on this page. I want you to think about what the problem could be. All right, I kind of have an idea. You said the problem was he broke eggs when he sat on them. That's what happened when he did. We kind of knew that's what would happen. But his problem was he had that question, what would happen if he sat on an egg? His solution was to find out, do it. And he took some steps to do that. First, make a nest, then put the eggs in, then sit on it. So he has steps to his solution. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. Young Tom also knew that birds ate worms and birds could fly. What if people ate worms? Tom guessed that they would fly too. So he gave a girl a cup of chopped worms and water. The girl drank it and got sick, and she didn't fly. I'm going to hide myself. Tom Edison, the boy who asked all those questions and did those unusual experiments, became the man whose inventions changed the world. So what was his problem on this? What was he trying to find out? What was he trying to fix? Yeah, he wanted to know if people ate worms, would they fly? His solution? Have somebody drink the cup of worms with water. And of course, did that solve the problem? No, I think it only created another problem, just like the previous page where he sat on the eggs. It created another problem of having the eggs broke. All right, let's move on. Tom Edison was born in 1847 in Milan, Ohio. He was the seventh and youngest child of Sam and Nancy Edison. Sam had a lumber mill. Nancy had been a teacher. When Tom had trouble in school, his mother became his teacher at home. So what was the problem on this page? Give you a little think time before I tell the answers. Okay, I hope you said when Tom couldn't do work at school or had trouble with work at school, then that was his problem. The solution to that problem was what? I hope you said that he'd come home and his mama, who had been a teacher, helped him. It's kind of like you guys now. Your teacher's across the screen from you. She's not in the same class as she used to be. So we're having our own problems and we're finding our own solutions. Okay, let's move on. Chapter 2. Young Tom did many of his experiments in the cellar of his home. He had lots of jars of chemicals. He wanted to keep people from messing with them. To fix the problem, he had an idea. He wrote poison on each jar. He thought that would keep others away. He was right. So the problem? People messing with his chemicals. The solution to that? Write the word poison, and it certainly worked. Okay, I'm gonna hide myself. There were often smoke, strange smells, and loud noises in the Edison home. It all came from the cellar and from young Tom's experiments. So we have a problem on this page. What was it? Yeah, he's smoking up his home, it's got strange smells, and it's loud. Do we have a solution for this? Not yet on this page, which means we're going to have to keep reading to see if there's a solution on another page. So let's turn our page. Tom needed money to pay for chemicals and other things. As a result, he got a job when he was 12. He sold newspapers and candies on trains. Then at 15, he began to write, print, and sell his own newspaper for travelers. He named it the Grand Trunk Herald. So do we have a solution from that problem from the previous page where his house was getting stinky and loud and all that? Not yet. So let's just keep reading. Tom wrote news of people he met on the train. He also wrote how he felt about work. The more to do, he wrote in his newspaper, the more done. Tom liked to keep busy. Tom kept very busy on the train. He even set up his own lab in the baggage car. So do we have a solution from that house being stinky and smelly and smoky? Yeah, he's now working on the baggage car where his lab is. So I guess Mama's happy about that. All right, we do have some other problems and solutions on this page, especially over there on page 212. He needed money. That was his problem. So what did he do to get money? Okay, hope you said that he got a job selling newspapers and candies. All right, let's move on. As Tom got older, he kept doing great things. There were no telephones at the time. Instead, messages were sent through telegraph wires. They were sent in a code of dots and dashes. Tom learned the code. He got a job sending and reading telegraph messages. He found new ways to use the telegraph. Those were some of his first inventions. So right now, think about Thomas Edison's life. How he started off in his barn, and now what is he doing? Okay, let's move on to chapter 3. When Tom grew up, he became an inventor. He invented all kinds of things that help people. At the time, burning gas lights lit homes and streets. Sometimes smoke from the lights filled a room. Sometimes fire from the lights burned a home down. All right, we have a problem. Tell me what that problem is. Think about it. Yeah, those gas lights. You know how we have light bulbs? Well, back then, they would have this light that was full of gas, like a lantern, and light it. Well, that could be kind of dangerous. So let's see how he solved this problem. Tom was sure he could make a better light, so he did experiments with electrical light. He had lots of ideas. His notes filled hundreds of notebooks. After more than a year of work, Tom did it. He made a light that was safe to use. The electric light is the light of the future, Tom said, and it will be my light. So how did he solve that problem of people having these lanterns as gas lights in their home? Yeah, making the light that we know now. And he is right. It is the light of the future, and we still use it today. Okay, I'm going to minimize me so we can read. Edison's lights were big news. People came from all over to see them. Once they saw the Edison lights, they wanted them in their homes. Tom's lights brightened the world. Thomas Edison spent his whole life making great things. The things he made helped people everywhere. So think of one thing that we use today that requires a light bulb. I'm looking down at my computer and I'm seeing my keys light up, so there's got to be a light behind that. Not a light bulb that Thomas Edison invented, but someone took that idea of a light bulb, changed it some, and made a new invention. Okay? All right, here's the author, David Adler. David Adler says, I love to write. With Tom Edison's inventions, the light bulb, I could write even after the sun goes down. David Adler had written all kinds of fiction and nonfiction for children. He especially likes writing biographies of people who act in ways that children can learn from. And I think it is true. We can learn from everybody. So as you go into your assignment page in Teams Language Arts, you're going to fill in a graphic organizer of problem and solution. So think about all the problems and solution from the story that we just read today as you're filling that in. Remember, if you need to go back to the story, you can replay this video again, or you can go over to Connect Ed in Reading Wonders and actually read the story there. So, thank you guys for your attention. I'll see you next time with Books with Baker. Bye.